Cheer like that. And I'm right back with another one. Episode 34. It's a conundrum. Stop the presses. Everybody chillax. I know I had to come right back with another one. Everybody can't go E.B.C.G. He is I is he. WILLMATIC. Ladies, gentlemen, listen, man. You know, I'm feeling really festive, man. I'm in a real festive, celebratory mood. So many things to celebrate. Juneteenth. We are on, basically on the cusp of Juneteenth. It is currently June 15th, as I record. Uh However, this will officially be out on Juneteenth. I'm definitely dropping this episode on Juneteenth. I just feel like, it's only right. My ancestors, I want to pay homage, in the best way that I can, Willmatic TV, the E.B.C.G, the freedoms that we have today, the abilities and, the capabilities that we have today and the access that we have, we have the internet now, back in those times, 1865 obviously was the year, that the Emancipation Proclamation, was written. Let me fact check myself though. Hold on. 1865 Emancipation Proclamation, right? Listen, we're not gonna sit here and harp on, the past, EBCG episode 34. This is the present. And we want to go beyond and even further, with this platform. And I was basically saying that the freedoms that we have and the access that we have, the capabilities that we have to acknowledge the fact that it is our ancestors who fought that fight for us to, have the ability to do the things that we can do today. Now, although, and let's be very, very clear, the fight is still not won. I mean, I feel like, obviously we still have a lot of fighting to do. And realistically, we got a lot of, we got to first of all figure out who our enemy is, number one, who our target is. There's so many other fights that we have to fight before we even can focus on the enemy, right? And I'm trying to avoid, basically trying to make this too personal, man. Listen, it's been an interesting, intriguing week for me on a personal note, to say the least. You know, Regardless of the fact, at the end of every week, I'm always able to kind of sit back, reflect, and brush my shoulders off. Basically, every new week is basically like my docket. Every page I turn is a new episode, right? So I'm treating life like my podcast at this point. Every week is a new episode. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't harp on the week. What I'm saying is, you know, the reflection is definitely, a part of the process. So listen. I got 8 on the docket, man. 8 on the docket. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. It's Juneteenth, Juneteenth weekend. We got a lot of other things that we want to acknowledge as well, as far as things that we need to celebrate. But let me kick this thing off the right way. So look, it's final. It is final. It is final. You know. Yeah, man. Yeah. Congratulations to the 2023 NBA champion, the Denver Nuggets. I mean, at this point, I mean, listen, we kind of was expecting this, as we was watching, those games develop with Miami. Uh, Obviously, listen, Jimmy Butler. Obviously, this, hats off. Listen, all credit to Miami. I see a lot of people basically, you see the memes about Jimmy Butler, like, he ain't really him, and people, the internet is so quick to build you up and break you down. We was just talking about, myself included. I think I dedicated a whole episode You know what I'm saying? The Gemulus Pack, episode 32. Understand that I was team Celtics and I did this. Right? So we're not gonna sit here and act like Jimmy Butler, Miami, they fought a good fight, but listen, man, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, the fight wasn't fought hard enough to get the championship. And Nikolai Jokic, man, this guy right here, man, obviously Jamal Murray, hats off to the whole team, the coach, Mike Malone, who did an amazing job with with that team, and realistically, fam, what it's looking like right now is we got a new franchise that's getting ready to basically take the league by storm here, and that's kind of the narrative that's getting spread around. Like, yo, man, I'm not gonna lie, 1 through 5, the Denver Nuggets are gonna be a team to reckon with, for the next couple of years, as long as they can keep this squad together, right? That's the whole thing, They got a lot of pieces over there, and obviously, you got Aaron Gordon. Salute. I mean, man, Aaron Gordon was phenomenal in game. What was that, game 5? I mean, he was that whole entire series for real. Definitely, stepped his game up. Embraced the role that he was given. Obviously, Aaron Gordon coming off of a situation where he was basically, the star player, right? The leading guy on the team, the main, the go-to guy. Basically the face of the franchise type of thing, and so for him to come over here, to this squad and, be able to kind of just play this role and, for it to, for the end result to be an NBA championship, I think is amazing. I'm losing my whole voice already, which is crazy, right? Hold on. Yeah, I feel like, and they definitely robbed. Hold on, man. We have to acknowledge the fact that Aaron Gordon was completely robbed. They bamboozled Aaron Gordon for that slam dunk. What year was that? Was that 2016? It wasn't 2015. It was either 2016 or 2017. One of those years. I don't feel like doing the research right now, fam. I'm cooking right now, and I don't want to stop my flow. But I believe it was either 2016 or 2017. Obviously Zach Levine, it was an amazing dunk contest, right? The back and forth, and we enjoyed the show. But realistically, Aaron Gordon got robbed, fam. Are you kidding me? In the words of Kenny the Jet Smith, left, right, stand up. Are you kidding me? That man jumped over the mascot, put it under his legs, fam. We've never seen anything like that. Understand that 2K, they implemented that in the video games. He gave the video games a new dunk. They didn't even have that in the video games, fam. And it is what it is. But listen, he's an NBA champion now. So, I mean, salute to Aaron Gordon, salute to the Denver Nuggets, salute to Bruce Brown. I mean, listen, it's just crazy how like Bruce Brown was, that whole net situation was just a disaster. As I sit here right now, literally with Brooklyn net shorts on, no cap. I told myself I would never wear these again outside. Listen, I'm in the house. It is what it is, fam. They was on the top of the drawer. I just grabbed the first things I seen. Okay. But I still got a bad taste in my mouth about that whole net situation, man. I just know for a fact that they had all of the pieces that they needed with Bruce Brown, and we clearly seen what he's capable of doing now. They would have got a whole championship, fam. Are you kidding me, bro? Yeah, yeah. Granted, Jokic, Murray, different 1-2 situation, right? Maybe that's a little bit, you have a little bit more leverage with those two on your team. But at the same time, man, it's just crazy to me that KD, he got eliminated. Kyrie didn't even make the playoffs, and Bruce Brown is somewhere right now with his shirt off with an NBA championship, fam. It's just the universe will work in such, mysterious and sometimes comical ways. Nobody saw that coming. You know, once he got, I didn't even think he was gonna get minutes on the Nuggets like that. To be honest, man, they got players over there that are like 86 overalls in 2K that's not seeing any playing time right now. They on the bench, fam, handing the Gatorades. They passing Gatorades down for Jokic and Murray right now. These are legit superstars on the bench. So the fact that Bruce Brown, kind of was able to get over there and play such a significant role, salute to Bruce Brown as well, man. Listen, man, you can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game, fam. At the end of the day, yeah, man. He got off the Titanic. Who's the other Brown? Christian Brown. Salute to him too, man. He ain't really, he had that one game where he was going up a couple people's chests or whatever the case may be. I feel like he's definitely gonna do some, put some work in the league. This is obviously the Denver Nuggets' first championship, which is crazy, right? Because I used to be such a super duper Denver Nuggets fan, and I don't know, man. Just it's just kind of hard for me to see, Contavious Caldwell Pope up there, celebrating. He got the braids in, and I'm just thinking to myself, damn, man, Melo and AI, man. I'm looking at KCP up there, man, with them braids, and I'm just getting flashbacks, man. Just flashbacks of a time when two cornrow assassins once roamed the land. They was at the top of the altitude in Denver, fam. They had Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson, and they couldn't get it done, fam. That's just something for me personally as a fan. I'm just not gonna be able to really swallow that pill. Pause. And like I said, man, it's been a hell of a week. I really had this pod like 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Kind of had to put it on the back burner, but realistically, I don't like to jump out the gate. I try to, like I said, I try to let these breathe. I try to leave some, some at least 8 days in between each episode. I feel like eight, obviously, I mean, that's Kobe's first jersey number. You know what I'm saying? Mamba mentality, right? That's episode 18, by the way, which y'all probably heard that. That's a couple episodes back, but we going to the future now, right? We on episode 34, right? But like I was saying, I try to leave some room in between episodes because realistically, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Listen, I want everybody to kind of do their thing, and realistically, I prefer to kind of sit back and watch. Yeah, I'm still a student, is what I'm saying. So I definitely, I take my time to gather, my notes, and realistically, that's a process that can take anywhere between. I try to keep it at minimum 8, but that could really be a whole year if I allow it to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of an observer. You know, I talk that ish. Obviously, when the mic is on, it's time to perform. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I do better than anybody, right? Stephen A. I watched the latest episode of First Take, and it was cool. It was cool. I ain't really see no takes out there that really jumped off of the what I'm saying, the screen or anything crazy. I mean, I feel like the finals is over now, and it's kind of like that's kind of like when it's like quiet time, right? Wrong. The E.B.C.G is all year round, fam. Meaning when the finals is over, there's still things to talk about, fam. We have a whole world full of things to talk about. And realistically, I'm trying to refrain from like I said, I'm trying to stay in a celebratory mood. Juneteenth is here, I definitely feel, the presence of my ancestors every step that I take, I just feel like we just had orange skies and listen, man, this is clearly not the time to, be half stepping. You know what I'm saying? You better be standing on something and standing firm on it. Floyd Mayweather versus John Gotti the third, right? Is that correct? That's what I wrote down on my docket. I'm pretty sure it's John Gotti the third. I'm assuming this is, the grand or the great grandson of, the late great, you know, uh, John Gotti, who was also a boxer, right? I'm thinking about another Gotti. That's Arturo Gotti, pardon self. So I don't know who this is, okay? This could be a mobster. This could be a mafia member. I don't know. I just know that Gotti is usually only two things. I know who Floyd Mayweather is, obviously, right? Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let's be clear, because we have Floyd Mayweather Sr., who was also, a fighter as well, right? And then became a great trainer, right? Salute to Floyd Mayweather Sr., but Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? Mr. TBE himself, pound for pound, I mean, for my era of boxing, because realistically, fam, there was like over 150 great boxers, right? And it's kind of hard to really gauge that. Everybody comes with their own skill set. Everybody comes with their own signature moves and styles, and it's just so many things to kind of take in when it comes to boxing. But you know, I wasn't buying Muhammad Ali fights on pay per view. You understand what I'm saying? So realistically, although we do know and we will always call Ali the greatest because he was the greatest, right? And we not just talking about in ring when we talking about Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali became bigger than the sport of boxing, right? And I feel like Floyd Mayweather, he became bigger than the sport of boxing, but he did it in a way that Ali, I feel like they went two different routes, basically, right? Ali was more about, his unbroken spirit, and his ability to, you know, basically just navigate through a time period where obviously, being black, was viewed as something that was less than acceptable, right? Let alone being black and great at what you do. So, needless to say, Muhammad Ali ruffled a few feathers, outside of the boxing ring, just like he was ruffling feathers inside of the boxing ring. Muhammad Ali was great in and out of the ring, is what I'm saying, and we all know his story. And obviously, we watched Ali 150 times, right? And Will Smith, he did an amazing job, right? But I'm getting off the point here. Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest in ring boxing performer that I have ever seen. The defense, the footwork, the hand speed. I mean, we've never seen anything like it. And then obviously the numbers speak for themselves, right? When we talk about pay per view buys and listen, I'm not really so much big on the mathematical. That's more for the fighters to be concerned about because at the end of the day, they're the ones that's getting in there, putting their health at risk, doing these fights. And realistically, they earned every dollar and every penny that they receive, going in there and doing what they do, right? Understand that just training for a fight, you can die. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things, behind the scenes that we're not necessarily privy to when it comes to boxing and, all of the ins and outs, promoting the fight, building up the fight, getting the fighters prepared for the fight. It's a lot. I say all that to say this. Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT, because in my opinion, he's the one that made it just seem like it was all fun and games. I mean, he literally made it look like anybody could just put on gloves, basically, and kind of get in there and talk trash and do what he does. And clearly, we've seen a lot of fighters try to take his blueprint, and we also seen the results. And we ain't seen another Floyd yet, and there's a reason why. Because Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of all time. Now, I prefix this with that amazing soliloquy because I'm getting ready to say something that I feel like personally is blasphemous, right? Floyd Mayweather has become an embarrassment to the sport of boxing, fam. I mean, listen. It is what it is, you know. And like I said, John Gotti, this recent exhibition fight with John Gotti the third. Right. Now listen, man, I don't know who John Gotti is. I don't know who he is. Is he a YouTube guy? I don't know. Is he the the son or the grandson of John Gotti. I'm assuming that he is. I'm not sure why he's fighting Floyd Mayweather though at this point. And basically I only have this on the docket because this became a trending story. Apparently a brawl broke out after the fight. I did see a clip. You know, I seen like a 30-second clip. Listen, man. Basically, what's being said is that it was staged, man. They saying they said Floyd is staging brawls after exhibition fights, fam. They saying that Floyd Mayweather is setting this stuff up. Like they basically, it's the thing. Is Floyd Mayweather in need of money? Is Floyd Mayweather in any financial type of situation where he needs a lot of money to pay off some type of debt? I don't know. I'm not in that man's pockets. I'm not in his bank account. I don't know what he's, what I'm saying? I don't know what his debt is looking like. I don't even know what my debt is looking like most of the time, right? Until I go make a couple of phone calls, get a couple of emails sent. I don't know what's going on with anybody's financial situation. All I'm saying is this. I'm more concerned about the legacy. And realistically, fam, I feel like we got Floyd Mayweather. Floyd has sons. Why are you not putting them? I mean, listen, I get it. Most fighters won't allow their children to go, basically follow in their footsteps because, what a lot of fighters will explain is that, they made that ultimate sacrifice to, basically give their family, the riches of, the fruits of their labor, if you will, so that they can, not go that route and suffer all of the consequences and all of the, the trials and tribulations that come with being a boxer. Like I said, it's dark, right? Ins and outs, politics. But at the same time, I just feel like I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather post boxing getting into brawls. You still getting into drama. You still got beef with people that nameless boxers. Now listen, the whole Jake Paul YouTube thing, and I get it. I get it. Numbers don't lie. Hold on, I'm literally like, bro, is that what is the AQI right now, fam? I am having. I'm on their ass. They try to act like this AQI. Hold on, man. What is the air quality index? 45. And that's supposed to be good, huh? Check this out, man. So where was I? Floyd Mayweather, right? I'm not sure why Floyd Mayweather's still fighting that. This is the thing, right? Obviously, obviously, we can't tell a fighter or we can't tell anybody how to live their lives. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even mad at Floyd Mayweather still fighting. I'm just like, I'm not understanding what the incentive is. I thought at this point, Floyd Mayweather should be the best trainer in boxing right now, the best promoter, the best, you know, you're supposed to be putting other fighters in a position to get to where you got. And I thought that's what he was doing with Tank. Obviously, they parted ways. He was still at the last Tank fight though, which I did feel like was dope, because they basically was trying to turn them against each other. That's what they do in boxing. And in most places, you find one bad apple to spoil the bunch, one or two or three, depending on what the bunch is looking like. You understand what I'm saying? So they tend to do that a lot in the sport of boxing. They put the black promoters against each other and the black fighters or black and Mexican, those are usually the matchups that make the most money, right? And that's pretty much what it's all about when it comes down to boxing. And clearly Floyd Mayweather is still following the blueprint. He's still following the Money Mayweather blueprint, fam, and he's still trying to run it up, fam. I'm not sure how much he made for this fight. Like I said, I don't really get too much deep into the mathematics of what other people are making. But if I'm not mistaken, I heard or I read that it was somewhere around, the $10 million range, which I feel like, okay. I mean, I'm not mad at, listen, if you could go in there and make $10 million to kind of just, I mean, listen, and like I said, the clips that I seen, he was in there basically hitting the punching bag. Like he's literally in there sparring with these guys, running circles around them, just playing with them. And I'm not gonna lie, he still got it too, which is crazy to me. And I feel like if you gonna keep doing these exhibitions, then like fam, why not bless us with some shit that we wanna like really see? Like I'm just saying, like, isn't Pacquiao still in the gym? Okay, so like let's make that happen. And if you're gonna still do exhibitions, like we seen Tyson do an exhibition with Roy Jones Jr., right? Because that was a fight that we actually was interested in seeing when those two fighters were in their prime. And I feel like now that Floyd Mayweather, pardon himself, is basically post boxing career. Now it shouldn't be so much about trying to make the right fights. I mean, if you just doing it for fun, why not fight the guys that we at least want to see you in there with? That's all I'm saying. We don't need to see Floyd Mayweather brawling with John Gotti III. And then, if I'm not mistaken, that's only half the story. Apparently, it's spilled out into the crowd, and that spawned a few more brawls, and it's a whole thing of real and what's fake, and a lot of people are basically leaning towards the brawl was staged. At least the in ring confrontation between the two fighters, Mayweather and John Gotti. They basically saying that that looked like something that Floyd kind of set up, for lack of a better word or a phrase. But then at the same time, they're saying that the brawls that occurred in the crowd were real. And there were actually real fights between security. And as a matter of fact, I haven't seen any of those. I'm not really interested in this. Like I said, I only wrote it down because I really wanted to just give Floyd his props for real. You know what I'm saying? I still do feel like he is the greatest. That is still TBE. And like I said, he still looked like he got it a little bit. Maybe his legs ain't really there as much as they used to be. Obviously, he's aging, but the hands is still there, fam. The hands are still there, and realistically, fam, he could probably run it back with Canelo low key and go to decision, fam. But that's a whole nother conversation for another time. And I know it's a lot of Mexican, Latin people from the community that's probably not gonna want to hear that. But realistically, fam, somebody at my door, bro. Hold on, bro. Pardon yourself. Everybody can go. Episode 34. Need I say more, or do you get the point? Yeah, man. Mayweather, man. I'm not sure what we're doing here, man. I really do respect you as a fighter, man, and I just hope that everything is okay, my brother. Financially and more importantly, mentally. He does seem like he's in a good place, though. I mean, I will say that. Listen, we've seen other boxers and legendary boxers, post boxing that they didn't look like how Floyd look right now. And at the end of the day, we probably should acknowledge that too. The fact that he is still kind of, basically, able to kind of physically, he can still box, still looks pretty healthy, to have been fighting and, taking the punishment that he's been taking for the amount of time that he's been taking it. I mean, he clearly is doing something right, is basically what I'm saying. So we got to give him some credit too. We going to move off of that though. Shout out to Floyd, TBE, Money Team. I didn't even know this fight was taking place either. Uh, so that's a whole nother conversation about his promotion. Like, I'm not really even sure, like, damn, like, where are you promoting this fight? Or these fights, these exhibitions? Because realistically, fam, I follow Floyd. I did not know that this fight was taking place. Now, granted, I'm a fight fan. And obviously, there's other real fights that are actually taking place in obviously we got Errol, Spence, Bud Crawford, and we're gonna get into that in about two or three more topics, right? Because they definitely out and about, they promoting the fight, and it's time now. I said to myself, I don't really get excited for the big fight. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I'm all for Mayweather. I'm all for Mayweather, and John Gotti the third. Shannon Sharpe's farewell from, yeah, man, undisputed. So it is official. Shannon Sharpe has officially, announced his farewell from, Fox Undisputed. Uh, what's next, right? Listen, I don't really think that Shannon Sharpe is gonna have a hard time finding or landing in another gig. The farewell was definitely heartfelt. He went up there. Listen, man, took the glasses off. He started crying, man. Skip over there. Skip is stone cold. He ready to find a new host and keep going. Like he ready to just get to another topic. Skip don't really care about anything other than a debate. You understand what I'm saying? So Skip wasn't even really showing no emotion like that. But I do feel like, you know, I guess it was the right time. The right time for him to kind of walk away, do his own thing. He was there for 7 years. Uh, a lot of people had a lot of things to say about Skip Bayless after the whole situation with Damar Hamlin and the tweet. And then Shannon went there and then he pressed them about it. And then they had the whole thing. At the end of the day, man, realistically, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, I'm pretty sure they have a good, solid relationship. I would assume they do, right? At the end of the day, Skip Bayless is the man that got him, he got him the gig, man. And he said that on the farewell. And I do feel like, Skip is definitely, uh, man, Skip might need to pack it up, man. I don't even know how else to say it, man. I feel like Skip Bayless, he's going through these. How many co-hosts is Skip Bayless gonna have, fam? And I'm still trying to figure out why every black person. Listen, man. Like I said, Juneteenth is here. Y'all know I gotta ride with the home team, man. And I'm just questioning. I'm questioning Skip Bayless and his integrity off camera. Right? Because on camera, we know Skip Bayless, he gonna call it like it is. He gonna say how he feel, and he gonna say it, and he gonna mean it. But realistically, off camera, I wanna hear some of those debates off camera, man. Because I don't know why every black guy that gets next to you gets uncomfortable and leaves you at some point. Stephen A. Smith is one of the greatest to ever do it, fam. If he can't sit next to you, then something might be. I'm just saying we might need to investigate Skip Bayless a little further. Nah, in all reality though, Skip Bayless is a legend. Shannon Sharpe, basically we just looking forward to seeing what the next move is, man. Is he gonna go on first take? I don't personally, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I feel like he's too big to be next to another guy who's just as big. I feel like him and Stephen A, their personalities are gonna clash. And I feel like he needs to have his own basically platform and own space to kind of display his personality and his skill set. And obviously Stephen A has been doing this much longer and is a much more established journalist. Shannon Sharpe only been doing this for so long, but what I mean, salute to Shannon Sharpe. I feel like it was a dope run. I feel like they was actually just starting to get more interesting. Personally, I enjoyed that dynamic, and I'm low key kind of like, damn, now that's kind of gonna hurt. That's why I get some of my notes from Undisputed. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm just kind of like, damn, who's gonna be the next person I have to study at that in that seat? You know what I'm saying? Realistically, fam, I might need to send an email to Fox. I wouldn't join Fox though, not before June. After Juneteenth, it might be a go, fam. Let Juneteenth come around, you know what I'm saying? Let Juneteenth pass, and then maybe me and Fox can negotiate a deal, fam. Is what I'm saying. I'm gonna move on from that at this point. I'm gonna move on from that. Where we at now? Tyler Perry officially purchases BET. Okay, yeah. So obviously this was something that was there was a bidding war, you know, for BET. I feel like for several years now I've been hearing and reading different articles about BT up, for sale, and they treating BT like a goddamn like a garage sale or something, fam. They just throwing this thing all over the day. Everybody's getting a hold of BET at some point, I feel like, fam. I feel like Chief Keef might get BET at some point, fam. BET is getting passed around like a goddamn collection plate at church. What is the purpose? I have so many questions. Before I could even get excited about hearing news about anybody purchasing BET, I need to first, like, they have to reintroduce BET to me altogether at this point, fam. I need a whole new reintroduction to this channel. The BET that I remembered, like when I actually cared about television and shit, before I realized that this shit was just a big box of lies and propaganda. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there staring at a big ass screen. Are you mentally ill, fam? Then you paying for this monthly. You getting a monthly bill, a big fat bill with a big fat TV for your big fat brain that's full of all of this bullshit, fam. That's what TV has become to me, right? So I say all that to say this. This is why I do a podcast. I can't listen to anybody else, fam, other than myself anymore. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm doing my homework, when I'm studying for the podcast, when I'm taking my notes, when I'm every now and then you're gonna get in that bag, and I'm very much I'm just as good as a listener as I am as a speaker. To be honest, that's probably my main skill. Very attentive. When it looks like I'm not listening is probably when I'm listening the most, right? And all I'm saying is this: I don't really understand what the purpose of BT is anymore, fam. 106 in Park, obviously that was many moons ago, and that was the days when BET actually had credibility within the culture. And I feel like this is an important conversation to have. Like I said, this is the Juneteenth episode, and obviously all things are, that are black are all things that BET at one point used to put on the network, and I just feel like they lost the credibility factor. Now, Tyler Perry, obviously, Medea. You know what I'm saying? Enough said, man. Medea owns BET now, right? So when it comes to the credibility side of things, does Medea have credibility within the culture? I would have to say the numbers would say that she does, or he, or she. Listen, point being, Tyler Perry, who is the creator of Medea and now the owner of BET, listen, you got BET right now. I'm just basically going to be keeping my eye on this to kind of see where we go with this. Are we just going to see a bunch of Medea reruns on this shit now? Because realistically, fam, I felt like he already owned BET before this. All they was doing was putting Medea reruns on. And like I said, it's been a minute. I don't remember the last time I even seen BET. But from what I remember, fam, in the direction that they started to go in, it just started to be a bunch of they put in all the old the nostalgic black film. All right, cool, cool. Four brothers again. Cool, cool, cool. I've seen it 1,000 times already. What else can we do with this platform? Uh, which is a large platform. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. You know, there was a bidding war though, and there are, I feel like Diddy. Who were the other people that had was in the runnings for this? It was a few heads, man. A few heads. I feel like Shaq was in there. Diddy, Ice Cube, listen, man, a whole bunch of black rappers and football players, basketball players and shit. Everybody wanted BET, and Tyler Perry was the one that got it, man. He also has a big ass studio in Atlanta. So realistically, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe he is the best option for a television network, ultimately, right? He already kind of has the space for it. And I feel like that's probably really what it just came down to. Those other guys probably had the resources to build the spaces, but he kind of already had the space. So I feel like that was a no brainer as far as BT, you know, and as far as he was concerned, because he definitely dropped the bag and he got BT, man. Salute to Tyler Perry though, man. That is Black history, and although I'm not the biggest fan of men wearing, women's garments, you know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, there's a whole theory about that. And listen, I don't want to do that. This is the Juneteenth episode. Why did I even say that, man? I'm gonna edit it out because I'm gonna have to go down that rabbit hole and really start, you know what I'm saying, connecting dots and really bringing up. I don't want to really do that right now. What I do want to say is that, who would have ever thought that putting on a dress as a black man, I'm not sure if Martin is, Martin definitely got to feel a way about this. Shanae was in the 90s, man. Where's Martin's studio? And Martin was actually, the irony is Martin actually wanted a studio. He was on the Arsenio Hall show, and right now I'm going way off topic here, right? But Martin definitely was on Arsenio back in the 90s. I watched this episode recently too, which is crazy, right? I'm still watching Arsenio, fam, in 2023. Yeah, I'm a student. Like I said. Martin was definitely on there, and he was, he brought up, studios and a lot of the things that we're seeing, happening today. To be honest, Martin was somewhat ahead of the game when it came to all of that, as far as the things that he was saying on Arsenio. Now, as far as what he actually went and did, we seen how that played out. He ended up getting a gun, and that was that, fam. It was in no studio after that, right? But Martin is definitely another one of our legends. Salute to Martin, salute to Tyler Perry, salute to Black Hollywood, who I do feel like, you know, listen, we've made a lot of strides. We've made a lot of strides, and at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge the fact that we've come a long way in black film. Uh, despite the fact that I still stand on firmly, that I do feel like a lot of the writing and a lot of the material is, mediocre, right? To say the least. It's a lot of copy and paste going on, and it's a lot of following the trend of what did this metric last time, and there's not a lot of creativity and art happening in Black Hollywood, or just in Hollywood in general, for that matter, and obviously we have a writer strike. I'm not even sure. Did they resolve that writing strike? That kind of got quiet on the low. But we had a writer strike recently. Hold on. What is the update? I believe that's still going on. Delayed movie 2020. Yeah. No, there's a writer strike going on as I speak. So they're still holding it down. They, the writers, and it's a whole thing. Listen, man, Hollywood, specifically Black Hollywood, right? I do feel like we have, we could step our game up a little bit. 50 Cent, this is not even on the docket, but I definitely was just reading about how 50 Cent, left stars, and he took his show, I believe Power, he got so many shows now. Is it Power or is it BMF? I believe it is Power though. And he went over to Fox, which in my mind sounds like, okay, I don't understand how one moment, because if I'm not mistaken, 50 Cent was also, in the bid for BET, if I'm not mistaken, right? So 50 Cent wanted to purchase a network. Ultimately, another black man ended up purchasing the network. But when you get into a dispute with a network, you go to another white network, right? So these are some of the contradictions that I'm seeing that I would personally have questions. Realistically, you probably shouldn't say anything, right? And if I get into that room, I wouldn't necessarily want to, all I'm saying is this. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in Black Hollywood, and I feel like we do need a predominantly black network, right? Such as BET to, kind of nest these shows and nest this creativity and basically create an environment where black creators and black artists can have a safe space, to do their art, without compromise, without fear of, being robbed or, ideas being stolen, because what they'll do is they'll shut your shit down. Like, yeah, we're not gonna put money behind this, but they'll take your script and then they'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of thievery and lies and misleading. It's a whole mess in Black Hollywood right now, and I do feel like this is a step in the right direction, but that's yet to be seen. We will be keeping an eye on Tyler Perry and his purchase of BET, Black Entertainment, which I've publicly condemned on many occasions, fam, on video. Like I said, man, 106 and it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. We gonna move off of that though. Yeah, and another one is another one. Episode 34. Thought I was done. Nah, never that. I'm too much of a clever cat. Listen, I'm in a celebratory mood, man. And, realistically, fam, it's many reasons why. Juneteenth being the main reason right now. We're going to get to a few more of those reasons later on in the episode. But right now, at this moment, we're going to get to possibly the main reason. Nah, this ain't the main reason because realistically, fam, this shit is so far ahead. Like, we have so much time in between. But, ladies and gentlemen, listen. It is official. Errol Spence Jr., Terrance Bud Crawford, official press run has began for the fight. I'm not even sure if I said that right. Is it began or begun, fam? It has begun. They are now, they went to LA. They did the press conference in LA. They did one in New York. They basically on the press run, to promote the fight. And, I've been paying attention. I've been watching, everything. I don't usually get too excited for a big fight until like around fight week because I just feel like, being a boxing purist, you know, and a guru such as myself, I'm smart enough and intelligent enough to know that a fight doesn't necessarily become official until the fight is getting in the ring, fam. And realistically, fam, we've seen too many great fights potentially take place and never happen because of a lot of different things, right? Whether it was some politics, whether it was an injury or just whatever it was, a boxer, he might have felt like he stepped out at the last minute, whatever it was, fam. And obviously, when we talk about Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, obviously, is coming off of. I mean, he might have suffered one of the worst injuries in the history of boxing. This man was in a complete car wreck, not too long ago. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, fam. Errol Spence flipped his whole entire vehicle over, fam. And, he got ejected from the vehicle and it was a whole thing, man. And it wasn't looking good for a while there. And realistically, fam, it really truly is a miracle that this man was able to kind of come back to the sport blemish free, seemingly. That return fight, he came back, he fought Danny Garcia. I mean, listen, man, Danny Garcia was in there like, I don't want no more. He was like, ouch. He was physically, we seen him in pain in there, fam. This man came off of a car wreck and was still able to put in pain. He still had his skills. He still had his timing. He looked pretty damn good in there is what I'm saying. This is after a car wreck. Then he went and fought, Ugas, and he was able to get the win there as well. I don't remember that fight as much. I don't. I might have to rewatch that to be honest. That was his last fight, and he definitely suffered an eye injury during that fight. So I'm saying all this to say Errol Spence is obviously injury prone like a muff. Errol Spence is known to be injured, right? Especially recently, right? Uh, and all I'm saying is this, man. Until this fight week, I ain't really gonna be that excited, right? But I am excited. This is gonna be an amazing fight. I do feel like, I was just talking about Floyd Mayweather, right? And this is a perfect example of what I was talking about, actually. I was saying that, I feel like Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT. He's the greatest boxer in ring and out of the ring performer. Because at the end of the day, fam, when we talking about boxing, especially when we talking about pay-per-views, like listen, you asking people who are making honest livings for the most part, right? The people who are not going to be able to buy a ticket for 50, $60,000 to sit front row, whatever that is. Some of them should be like 200, 500,000, all type of shit going on, right? You got the mafia in the front row with you. It's crazy, right? It's people killing people for tickets in boxing and shit, right? This is really like the mob. So yeah, you asking honest people. We if you gonna get me to come out of my pockets, fam, you best to be selling this goddamn fight to me. And the reason why I say Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT, because he had the ability to sell the fight better than everybody else, man. Now we have to just acknowledge the fact that with the exception of Muhammad Ali, obviously, there was no better talker in the sport of boxing than Money Mayweather, fam. Money Mayweather, when he created Money Mayweather, man, I mean, this was like he was doing stuff that, I mean, listen, his vignettes are classic, man. This is like Ric Flair level promo stuff that he was doing, right? Literally, he throwing money. He got Lamborghinis, Bentleys. So all I'm saying is this: although I'm very excited for this fight with Errol Spence and Terrance Crawford, I will say that they do probably need to step up the trash talk just a notch. Let's just turn it up a notch. It was some spice. The New York, I feel like the LA press conference. This is my take on it, right? Because I watched the both of them. I feel like the LA press, I feel like Bud Crawford, he was a lot more, in control of that one, right? A lot more composed, he was way more kind of at ease and comfortable. I feel like Errol Spence was a little bit more, irritable and, basically trying to keep his composure, right? Then when they went to New York, it was basically kind of the same thing. But then I feel like at the end there, Errol Spence he figured out something. And, the trash talk is kind of weak right now. It's basically what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to make it sound good, but you can't make this sound good, man. They up there talking about, I'm going to cook the big fish. Bud Crawford said he gonna take a fishing pole, pause. He gonna catch Errol Spence with a big fishing pole. He gonna catch because he the big fish. He keep calling him a fish. He keeps saying weird stuff. Like Errol Spence over there getting mad. He don't really know what to say. He whispering. He ain't really talking loud enough for me. His aggression level is not really where I need it to be right now. Right? Then they over there showing each other respect, and one minute they trash talking, and then the next minute they showing respect and it's love and they laughing. And you can clearly see that these are actually two boxers, is what I'm saying, right? They actually only know how to box, right? This is not this is not the same situation like with Floyd, where he would put on an amazing show at the press conference, fam. The press conference used to be lit. I'm talking about they was buying tickets to go watch him talk at the press conference to promote the fight. Then he would go and win the fight. And obviously, he continued to do that for his entire career. The man is undefeated. And I just feel like he put a blueprint out there that's just basically too hard to follow, man. And you can clearly see it, with these other fighters, man. But I will say, though, I will be tuned in 100%. Inshallah, obviously. Hopefully, there's no more orange skies in between, now and July 29th, right? Because that was crazy, right? Realistically, I'm still on that, by the way. They really tried to poison us in broad daylight and then tell us some shit about fam. That shit is still in the sky. I don't believe the index is 41 right now. I don't. I don't. I ain't seen a clear blue sky since. For real, for real. I know what the blue sky look like. Anyway, I'm off that, right? That's episode 33. We on episode 34 now, right? Yeah, man. Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, that's July 29th. That is over a month away, fam. And we have some time before we get to that fight. Like I said, man, I just feel like I want to see them step it up a little bit more, man. The trash talking is mediocre, or maybe just don't say anything, Me personally, I would be doing all type of things. I would be sitting and planning all like the Floyd Mayweather John Gotti brawl. If that was actually staged, to me, it doesn't make sense just for the simple fact that Floyd Mayweather's career is over. You don't really need to create or generate any type of real hype or buzz around anything because people are kind of just gonna follow you because you're who you are already, right? Whereas with these guys, they're still active. These two are the people that need to be staging brawls. Errol Spence and Bud Crawford should stage a brawl at some goddamn bar somewhere, fam. We need to generate some goddamn interest for this fight. We seen what the Ryan Garcia Tank fight did, and realistically, that's not even nowhere near the level of boxing that we're getting ready to see with these two guys. But at the end of the day, what they did was they built up the fight. You understand what I'm saying? They went back and forth for years. We seen Ryan Garcia. He was on First Take and Undisputed on the same day, fam, calling Gervonta Davis out, fam. He did a lot to promote the fight, and I still do give him a lot of credit for how he approached the fight. Not so much about how he, executed the game plan in the ring, but it is what it is. It's a lot of hype around fights right now, we got Francis Ngannou, you know, that's UFC, that's MMA, well, not UFC, no longer former UFC heavyweight champion, pardon me. Now, PFL. Uh he basically PFL is basically an organization that allows fighters to kind of hybrid, right? You doing MMA 1 minute, then the next minute you over there somewhere boxing somebody. So basically what it's looking like is Deontay Wilder and Francis Ngannou. Now listen, like I said, I do this, right? And I've been watching this stuff long enough to kind of know that when a certain buzz gets out and when a certain narrative gets out and, you see the different platforms start picking it up and putting it out there. That's basically, what they do to kind of pile up the hype, to make the fight, actually take place. And now we got a point where I seen Deontay Wilder basically, talking about the fight as if it was actually a real thing. Like this is actually a possibility now. So now we got MMA guys fighting boxers, and it's just a whole bunch of man. I don't know what's going on. The WWE merged with the UFC. You got boxers fighting MMA guys, Floyd fighting YouTubers. The fight game is all over the place right now, man. I'm here for it though. It is one big melee. Do not get trampled in the melee, fam. Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We still got some time, man, and we'll see. Maybe the trash talk, maybe something going, they'll kick it up a notch. You know. Uh man, yeah. So I guess I gotta turn it down a notch for this next topic. You know, so a couple of what was this about a week ago? I don't want to be incorrect here and disrespectful. The fiance, I'm not sure. So Jackie O, rest in power, rest in love. Jackie O is obviously, personality. TV personality. Social media influencer. Wilding out. One of the hosts on Wilding Out, or not host, but one of the. She made a few appearances on the show. I believe she was actually a mainstay on the show. But more significantly and more importantly, she was obviously the mother of, DC Young Fly's children. I'm not sure if they were engaged or married. I don't believe they were. Uh, but obviously, man, listen, that doesn't make the situation any less traumatic than what it is. Obviously, this story broke maybe about a week ago or so, 2 weeks now. I missed it on the last episode. I was aware of it, but I just wasn't able to kind of I didn't really have anything to say, and honestly, I don't have anything to say now other than prayers and condolences, man. This was out of nowhere, and then realistically, I just felt like I wanted to actually hear DC Young Fly before I even had anything to say. And now that I've heard DC Young Fly, I say all that to say this. I feel a lot better about this, not better about the situation, but better about him in the situation, right? Because like I said, man, initially when you hear something like this and it's something that kind of happens out of nowhere, it kind of takes you by surprise and it kind of stops you in your tracks, right? I never even met this person. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, I can only imagine, what that brother's going through. This is obviously the woman who is the mother of his children. They obviously had a very, very close, knit family setting. And, I can remember at one point seeing, I believe she had a YouTube and he was on her channel at some point and they was doing some type of thing with the kids and it was obviously very family oriented. So, that was a very, that was very sad news when that broke. But I say all that to say this, man. DC Young Fly spoke at the memorial that took place. I'm not sure if this was yesterday or a couple of days ago, right? And I mean, he spoke with so much passion and so much, you know, I'm not even sure if passion is the word. Courage, faith, faith. Faith, a lot of faith, man. It was so much faith that was shown and exhibited by DC Young Fly on the stage. He was actually up there joking, laughing. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I was actually able to, it made me just feel a lot better about the situation, man. I'm just gonna be all the way 1,000, man. Just knowing that, according to him, that the kids is even kind of, handling things. Obviously this is still fresh, and I kind of know how this thing goes. Realistically, fam, they probably ain't even really have time yet to really get to that. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like you kind of got to just take this thing in stride and shake and move. And like he said, you can't stop. You can't stop going. You got to kind of keep pushing and push forward, through the hurdle that's in front of you or whatever the case may be. If whatever you want to call this, a hurdle, this is a goddamn mountain of I can only imagine. Like I said, And I just wanted to just basically bring that up to say prayers and condolences, man, to DC Young Fly, to Jackie O's family and her peers, obviously the children, who are basically gonna, we usually see this happen, but we usually see this happen the other way around, basically. It's usually like we see the father either get, whatever the case may be, right? So we more accustomed to seeing that, so when it happens like this, it's just a little bit more difficult to process, I guess. These are young children, who basically, obviously, the relationship between mother and children, especially when they're at such a young age. So, like I said, man, only time will tell. Wishing them all the best, though. Salute to DC Young Fly, and once again, rest in peace to Jackie O. Now I gotta go to Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan after that. And it's just like I feel crazy now. You understand what I'm saying? I just spoke about something that kind of brought me down. Now I gotta pick myself up, climb back up, me get back up, me get back in my bag. Now this is another topic that's been escaping me for several episodes now. And quite frankly, I'm a busy guy, right? There's a lot going on. I'm a student of life. I'm always studying something. And if I ain't studying something, I'm studying something. Understand what I'm saying? That there is no other option in life but to be studying something, right? And 9 times out of 9, hopefully that's something that's going to get you somewhere, right? So I say all that to say this. It's going to be times where I'll miss certain topics, right? And there's going to be certain things that I don't get to. I might be aware and I might have heard about certain things. And listen, man, listen, the wait is over. I know y'all been waiting for this take. I know y'all been waiting for this take because realistically, fam, nobody really giving y'all the real like this. Like I said, I listened to these podcasts. I listened to Draymond last episode. It wasn't really hitting. It's cool though. The finals is over. Basketball is over. Now it's kind of like nobody really know what to talk about right now. It's cool. I'm here, and we gonna get to Scottie Pippen versus Michael Jordan in 2023. Yeah, yeah. Who would have ever thought, man? I feel like it was just not too long ago Man, the red, the black. Who wore those colors better than that duo right there, man? Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Man, the dynamic duo, man. To this day, they talk about these two men. They are willing to say that this is a better duo than Steph and Clay during Steph and Clay heyday. Because at the end of the day, the Warriors dynasty is probably over now. This is the situation. I don't know what's going on with Scottie Pippen right now, fam. I'm not sure if he's taking some type of drugs. I'm not sure if, well, they say that pussy is a drug now. And I guess that's really what I'm trying to get to here, right? I'm just trying to figure out how I want to chip away at this iceberg because there's so many, variables to this, right? You got Scottie Pippen, you got Michael Jordan, you got the Jordans, the sneaker brand, right? You got the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson, you got championships, then you got pussy. And that pussy's name is Larsa Pippen, fam. Now this is the thing. This is the thing. I don't really know much about Larsa Pippen other than the fact that she has a vagina, fam. Respectfully. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I don't know who Larsa Pippen is. I know that she has the last name Pippen. So we gonna put two and two together and we gonna just assume that Scottie Pippen smashed it down at some point, right? And this is his, I'm not sure, ex-fiance at this point, obviously, right? They can't be still married. She still got the last name though, which is crazy. Man, this shit is a trap out here, man. Trap or be trapped, man. They are out here trapping. Now listen, fuck all that. Why is Larsa Pippen so vocal in 2023? Why does Larsa Pippen keep getting a platform in 2023, fam? I just feel like Larsa Pippen, like a lot of other hurt females out here, basically doesn't have anything better to do than try to tear a man down, fam. I don't understand why every time I see a story or an article about Larsa Pippen, it is at the expense of Scottie Pippen and his legacy, fam. Scottie Pippen's legacy has been destroyed completely because of Larsa Pippen and her antics. You with Future, the Future thing was one thing, right? And we was kind of like, that was kind of when I heard about it for the first time, and then I was kind of off it at that point, right? Like, all right, cool. I see what's going on here. I'm not about to really like invest myself into this individual, right? There's nothing going on for me to be interested in here. But now we at a point now where I'm hearing things. I'm hearing things like, I don't know, that she's engaged to Michael Jordan's son. So now Scottie Pippen is going on podcasts in 2023 and going on tirades and you ranting and raving about Michael Jordan and how he wasn't a good player and a good teammate. You ain't like the Last Dance doc. Well, man, listen, I mean, put out the Scottie doc. I don't know. You got enough money. You made enough money in Chicago. You was winning them rings too, fam. You don't got enough resources. You can't put your own doc out, fam. Why are you mad about what Michael Jordan is doing, bro? I don't understand men in 2023, and this could spawn into a whole nother conversation at this point, right? Because like I told y'all, I had a long week, right? I actually cut my week short, is what I did, right? Because I had to tell at work to kick rocks, you know what I'm saying, not too long ago, a couple of hours before this podcast, fam. It's been one of those weeks where I had to tell a couple of people about themselves, and realistically, fam, I feel amazing at the end of it. I don't feel like there's anything better in life than looking, people in their eyes and basically speaking the truth. I'm just at a point in life now where there's nothing that matters more to me than the truth, right? So realistically, fam, whatever the results is, whatever the outcome is, as long as I know I'm standing on the truth, I don't care. And realistically, fam, this whole situation with Larsa Pippen and Scottie and Michael, this triangle, this weird basketball triangle, because the Chicago Bulls did the triangle offense. You see how I tied it together? But now we have a triangle, a love triangle, fam, with Scottie Pippen, Larsa Pippen, and Michael Jordan, and now his son is involved. It just sounds like a bunch of corruption, which is something that I am anti. I'm anti-corruption. I'm anti-lies, fam. This is a mess. I need Larsa Pippen to have a seat. I don't know why you're going so hard to try to destroy this man's legacy. I don't. It was hard enough for him with Michael Jordan as his teammate and his legacy. You understand what I'm saying? It was hard enough for him to, you know what I'm saying? He was already kind of going through that. Now here you come. You about to go marry, you and have kids. You about to continue the Jordan legacy. What is going on, fam? Fellas, put a like I don't know, man. You got to do your research, man. You got to do your research, man. And like I said, I'm a student of life, man, and everything that's in it, you know. And realistically, fam, the main shit that you really need to be studying is where you put in your penis. You know what I'm saying? And realistically, fam, I'm not sure what type of revenge Larsa Pippen is trying to seek from Scottie Pippen, bro, and what he did to her. Because realistically, fam, he might have violated her too. We don't know. Could have hit one of her friends or something on a yacht or something crazy. We don't know, is what I'm saying. But she's clearly very hurt. Uh, she ain't win no rings, but you know she got one ring, and now she not gonna have that one, and she got another one, and it's a mess, man. How you get a ring from a Pippen and a Jordan? This is crazy. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. Michael Jordan has been very quiet though. I will say that we have not heard Michael Jordan at any point in life. I don't even think he said mentioned Scottie Pippen since the championship run. You don't even talk to Scottie, bro. We've never seen Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on the yacht together. Anytime when we see Michael Jordan on the yacht, we see old white men and cigars, fam. Never Scottie, but it's cool though. I guess in life, you know, and this is the Juneteenth episode, you know, it's not so much about color. However, what MLK said, we off that. Larsa Pippen, man, please have a seat though. This is crazy. Why are you doing this to Scottie Pippen, fam? She really married Michael Jordan's son. So Michael Jordan's son. And like, what a cornball you are, fam. Your dad is Michael Jordan, fam. You not about to go to the league. You just marrying old. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, man. Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. At this point, I think we do need to see them in the ring, though. And that was basically what I was really trying to get to. I lost myself, though. We definitely have platforms in 2023 where men could, you know, easily, you know what I'm saying, get off whatever emotion you had. Like, realistically, fam, I should never see another man's emotions. Like, the only emotion I should ever see from another man should be a physical combat situation. Like, if you have an issue with a man, there's only really one resolution to the issue, fam. I'm not one of those advocates of, oh, go grab her. You know, it's a lot of cowards out here, right? That'll go really violate you for no reason. I'm actually an advocate of we need to fight. We need more fighting. We need more fighting. Understand what I'm saying? That if they made fist fighting legal, I feel like we just had a mass shooting in Denver. Denver. They just won their first NBA championship in history. And somebody felt like pulling out a gun and shooting. You know why? Because you can't fight. So now people scared. You don't even want to get close. You want to be over there and you want to hit him from over there. Pull up on that man and punch him in his face. I'm an advocate of this. And I just feel like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are the perfect candidates for a fight. And I mean, what better platform than, you know, the Triller boxing platform that we see. Listen, if we could watch Jake Paul fight we watched Jake Paul knock Nate Robinson out cold. I'm just saying, man, put Scottie and Michael in there, man. Put the gloves on. Let's just see who the better teammate actually was once and for all. We could settle this real quick, is what I'm saying, fam. And that'll be a whole nother documentary. We celebrating Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. We celebrating, man. It is June 15th. Obviously, Juneteenth is on the 19th. I'm not doing anything within the next 3 or 4 days as far as editing, podcasting. So I said to myself, you know what? I got to record today, and I'm gonna drop it on Juneteenth. We're also celebrating a few greats as well. Tupac Shakur, obviously, you know, just got honored with the star, you know, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know, which I still feel like is crazy that he didn't have one the whole time. but I do feel like it was dope. How they honored him. His sister was there to accept the star on his behalf, which I feel like was great. That she was actually able to present be there in the present to receive that for Pac. It is definitely Pac's birthday on the 17th. No, 16th. Pac is on June 16th. Kendrick Lamar's birthday is June 17th, which is crazy. I don't really even think about that as much. The fact that my two, like literally 1A and 1B, Pac and Kendrick birthdays is a day apart is crazy to me. And then Juneteenth on the 19th, 2 days later, you're not telling me that's not like the universe aligning some type of yeah, man. So like I said, man, it's just a lot of things to celebrate, in June. There's also a lot of things to not celebrate in June. Obviously we got Michael Jackson, what is that, June 25th, which, around the corner from that is another, dark day for me personally. I don't necessarily want to, delve into that, but obviously, there's highs and lows, and that's life, right? Highs and lows, and it's all about how you basically process the situation and deal with the situation. At the end of the day, fam, you're gonna get hit with obstacles, fam. And realistically, that's not even the hardest part about life. A lot of people is worried about I'm starting to really kind of like see things from a whole nother scope. And realistically, fam, I have to do a movie now. Right? I got some footage, I got a few things, I got a couple of concepts, a couple of ideas I might want to hit y'all with. This is definitely episode 34. And that was definitely the end of the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, all inclusive podcast, children and babies. Listen, listen, listen. It's a wrap, baby. Episode 34. I have no more. Yeah, so, this is definitely the 50th year of hip hop. It's definitely a lot of different events taking place, a lot of festivals this summer, a lot to look forward to. And I'm definitely bugging because I was getting ready to end this shit. And I would be completely remiss if I didn't end it like this. Kendrick is coming, fam. Yeah. Absolutely. 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 All you mediocre bubblegum rappers, clear out, fam. ISO, if your name is not J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco, Drake, nah, you gotta clear out too, fam. Everybody clear out except J. Cole right now and Lupe. Because whenever Lupe want to drop, I'm here for it, fam. Realistically, fam, he's still one of the greatest lyricists today, fam, on the low. Because realistically, fam, they don't really talk about Lupe like that. And all these little lists I see, I don't really see Lupe name on these lists, but it's cool, right? That's a whole nother conversation for another time. But this is the 50th year of hip hop. And we have to pay homage to the lyricists, right? Lupe is one of them. Lupe is one of them. But Kendrick is definitely gearing up to drop another album. I'm not gonna tell you I have sources. I'm not Stephen A. I'm not one of them. What I can tell you is I do this. And all I'm saying is this, man. Just seeing his most recent performance at the Governor's Ball, he was in Queens. It was an amazing venue, killed it, packed house, all that good shit. But at the end of the day and at the end of the show, your man definitely said, I will be back after he named every album that he dropped over the last 4 or 5 years, right? So basically, that led to a lot of conversations and speculations on Twitter. Listen, man, the speculation and the conversations, no, let me put it all to rest for you right here on the E.B.C.G, episode 34. And I'm getting ready to sign off on this note right here. New Kung Fu Kenny. New Kung Fu Kenny. New Kung Fu Kenny. Ladies and gentlemen, WILLMATIC. Y'all already know what it is, man. Happy Juneteenth weekend. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate, I'm definitely um I'm definitely planning on listen, let's talk more action, right? Stay tuned, man. Y'all already know what it is. Website definitely still coming. WordPress.com/EBCG podcast. I just got a couple of things I gotta tweak on there and we should be up and running, you know, in about a month or so, right? Listen, there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Just stay tuned. You already know this is June. This is the E.B.C.G. episode 34. I'm off this signing out. Willmatic TV. Till the next time.